Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Well, frankly, my dear, I want to give you a place where you do not listen to the headlines. And if you're looking for those, you have a plethora of places to get them, but not here, because I do not want you to wake up with a case of the 4 A's. Angry, aggravated, anxious, and afraid. Instead, I want you to feel amazing, because this show's been on now for 720 consecutive weeks. This is show podcast number 1573, but who's counting? And I'm so glad that they were wrong, that it wouldn't last over a year, because we don't talk about headlines. Not because I don't want you to be in the know. I just don't want you to always have to know what the producers want you to hear, which is usually something, if it bleeds, it leads. So instead, I have topics and guests and co-hosts and series to that end. So welcome today to Straight Talk with myself and
James Hawthorn. Good morning, everyone.
He's an actor. He's a fitness expert. He is a former film co-founder. That's why he's here on camera with me, co-hosting this series that basically is straight talk about anything. And then, ironically, both of my co-hosts on Straight Talk are not straight. But hey, I just love, playing with words in many different ways. But I'm so glad that you're here this morning with us. We start every single morning with a good life habit, a hashtag Blisscipline, that I call taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So that's breakfast. So it's also a way that I catch up with my co-hosts. I don't let them talk to me during the week, because I don't want to know anything good that happens, because I want to know it now. So top of the bun is looking around you. What are you grateful for around you outside? Bottom of the bun, because I like it on the bottom, even though I haven't been there in a long time. But at TMI, bottom
Me neither.
of the bun is what we want you to do before you go to bed tonight, which is, what do you like inside of yourself? So, James Hawthorn, take it away.
I'm grateful for my friend who showed me a wonderful time in Portugal for 2 weeks. He has been inviting me for many years, and I've never been able to go. And this year I finally was. We had a wonderful time. We made lemons out of lemonade the first week. That region of the world had the rainiest period winter in like 40 years. So we were in what's normally beautiful weather in January. It was just raining, and we walked 13 miles one day trying to find a beach and a pocket of time where we could actually get on the beach and enjoy it. We were determined, but we spent most of that first week just catching up, watching silly videos, and it was some really good quality time. And then when we went to the island of Madeira, which is like they call it the Hawaii of Europe, subtropical climate. We really had some nice weather and got, it was a vacation in 2 parts, rain and then beautiful beaches and hikes. And I'm just grateful to him for pulling out all the stops and showing me a wonderful time and helping me keep my promise of 1 new country a year, which I made in 2018 and have kept.
Yay. Well, that sounds like a beach of a time. I am grateful that my first annual Mahjong Chinese New Year is going to happen tomorrow. And of course, those of you who've been following my story, the blood clots, I had another downturn going to the hematologist. And I am so grateful that I have a hobby turned another hat to wear as a mahjong teacher and as a mahjong guild starter. The Mahjong Beaches are having their Year of the Horse tournament tomorrow. So I'm grateful that I have a new community of fun, mostly guys. That was not on purpose, but it's been a lot of fun playing with them. Not that way, just playing with them with the Chinese styles. So I'm grateful for that. What are you grateful for?
I am grateful for, knock on wood, my parents' health. A good friend of mine just lost his father at age 67, and it just seems too soon. And, I was able to see him. There's this really cool bluegrass jam festival at a brewery up the street from me. And I just invited him to, come out and give him a little distraction. And, of course, a great big hug. And I'm grateful that my parents at 81 and 76 are in relatively good health. And I'm grateful for every opportunity I get to see them and talk with them. That is time that you won't get back. It's time that I am so grateful to spend and give. And, whenever I go back east to the East Coast, I always see both of them because you never know. And I just want to soak all of that goodness in. While they are sound mind, good health, and while we can do fun, great things together.
Yeah, I'm grateful that my bonus dad is doing amazingly. We thought that, he's 96, and almost a year ago, February 22nd, it will be a year that his wife of 74 years went to heaven, and she was my bonus mom. And honestly, the fact that he is, still, we were supposed to have lunch with a friend that was taking us out, and he was obviously coming down with something, and he's like, I don't know if I want to cancel, kind of thing. He still wants to go, and I love that, and I'm so grateful that Graham Martin is still doing very well, and obviously someone. Well, maybe not. They may be giving that hug emoji for your parents' story as well. And I think that's a great sentiment, James, to really treasure the relationships you have while you have them. So absolutely. Let's go to the bottom of the bun. What do you like about yourself? It is weight training. It is a good life habit for your mental health. It's my BS, my belief system that self-love, self-approval, self-care is the foundation to good mental health, good personal mastery. Because frankly, my dear, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anybody else to? So what do you like about yourself, James?
I love that I can be self-aware, something that sometimes I struggle with, but I feel like I've gotten a lot better at it, and that I can change, that I'm adaptable, and that I took this very exercise, I'll have you know, that used to be very difficult for me, didn't enjoy doing it because it felt uncomfortable, and I actually took it and am teaching it to my corporate training clients. We have a class called Thoughtful Thursdays, and I have done it twice now and taken people through the top of the bun, bottom of the bun, gratitude and things you love about yourself, and they did quite well with it. They gave me some really profound responses and answers, and the whole purpose of the sessions, while I teach fitness training, the company has said that they want just more it to be about community and taking a break from the 9-to-5 work day and do something good for you, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. And so with the request for varied programming, I said, I'm going to take this from Dr. Marissa and spread it around and share this good thing with other people. So this is also a gratitude. Thank you for pressing my adaptability buttons and ability to, change and be self-aware, because it has allowed me to share the gift with some 9-to-5ers in the digital media consulting world. It's also a gratitude. It's a 2-for-1 what I just did.
Thank you. I'm going to give myself some love on that one. Although I'm also going to say I get a Dodger ticket for that. That's my portion of
You would get one anyway. I can't wait until well, do you know what I might do? I might have to buy you a because my mom's birthday. I'm going to go back at the end of March and see her, and unfortunately, it's tearing me up inside. The best giveaway at Dodger Stadium all year is the free hooded sweatshirt. Like, it's a really nice hoodie, and the first 40,000 fans get one, and it's going to fall the day after her birthday, so I won't be able to go. I might have to get you a ticket, and then if you want to bring a friend or something, I might have to buy you the ticket and ask for a hoodie in my size, because I try to get one every year, and I'm not going to be able to get my hoodie.
Okay, there you go. You heard it here. You're going to keep them to that promise, because that would be very fun to do. And they don't have to be great seats either. So it's not going to ruin your wallet, because I've discovered a very, very good secret place to watch the Dodgers that I've been using. So I get whatever. Oh, I shouldn't say this on the air. Rewind. I appreciate that. It's funny. People say all the time, why are you so positive? Or how can you, be happy when you can't fly anymore? Or you can't, how, and it's always a choice. I had another, setback, and I thought if the clot was gone, at 6-month checkup, my hematologist had said, we'll relook at, flying before the year's up, and maybe it's not even like a half gone, mild improvement. I was so upset, and it took me 3 days. That's my thing, to, work it out of my system. I got really sad. I got really mad, and now I'm back, which is great. And then, like, I don't know what this is that I like about myself, but we're signing out, and I'm doing a Chinese New Year show next week, because it's Chinese New Year, on Chinese New Year. And there's all kinds of great fun facts and superstitions and all that. And I'm thinking, well, I could do it on my own and talk to myself. But he had mentioned that he was really interested. His wife was really interested. So guess who's coming on my show next Tuesday?
Really? Very cool.
My doctor and his wife. So you'll get to meet my hematologist, who I love, and his wife. And if you want to know anything about Chinese New Year, the year of the horse, what year you are, all of that, tune in next Tuesday. So, yeah. So I guess I appreciate I don't like stress about who, how am I going to do this? I just put it out there, and then the energy of the universe that makes sure the planets didn't crash into each other last night just answers me. I like that about myself.
I like that. Speaking of breaking the wallet, I like that I'm able to compartmentalize. And sometimes I go back and forth on whether compartmentalizing is a good thing, or whether, it's maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Because sometimes it's important to, live with whatever you're feeling and going through, and to do it. And you don't want to shove it in a little box and push it away. You have to feel it. I like your 3-day plan and principle. But sometimes it's important to create those boundaries or those rules. So speaking of breaking the wallet, I came back from Portugal to get a piece of certified mail that I had to go pick up at the post office. And the IRS is auditing me from 2019. And apparently I missed another letter from them. We had a mail thief in our building for a while. So this was now certified mail. And it said that, like, they're getting ready to levy my property, my bank accounts, all this stuff. So I took it in stride. I said, now, I filed with a really good tax person in 2019, and I can back this up. I can handle it. And so instead of freaking out because they're making all these threats and whatever towards me, I'm like, take it in stride. I'm going to call some tax experts. I'm going to figure it out. It's going to be okay. And it's not going to ruin the rest of my day. I'm like, okay, for the next 3 hours, I'm going to do my research, get my ducks in a row, get it done. And then I'm going to go back to being present and giving everything I have to my clients and whatever the day is going to bring. So I liked that thus far. I've handled that pretty well. I'm going to
And that's exactly why we do the breakfast sandwich, and exactly why we do the bottom of the bun, and exactly why both of my co-hosts of Straight Talk hated this exercise when they first came on with me. And they both now realize the value of it. And I hope you hear this. I hope you heard what James said. That is that's something that, like same like with my blood clots, to be told you can never fly again. Come on, folks. So when bad stuff happens, it's not even, that book, Why Do Bad Things Happen to Good People? I know in principle, it was a great book, but in practice, it feeds this BS belief system that bad things don't happen to good people, and that bad things shouldn't happen to anybody, which is bullshit talky. It's not even a bad thing. It's just life. And then don't tell me, oh, life term. It's not. Life does not suck either. It just is. So when stuff like that happens, how you process through is so important. And I'm very proud of you, because that is one of those things that you hope you never have to have happen. And, you just, don't put you go under the covers and refuse to open the mail and all of that, which people are tempted to do. But it's just like, 15 minutes at a time. You're going to get through this. And I will say this phrase every time something hits. I say, I can't wait to see what good happens out of this. And I love that. I can't wait. And sometimes with more sarcasm, sometimes with less sarcasm. So for you, the first thought that I came to mind was the guy that is going to audit you is good looking and single and
I could use a good date or any kind of experience. I have my face in my hands because I'm like, I really need a good date, but it's okay. Not freaking out about it. I love that intention and that wish. What you just said, my Portugal friend, who has just been an incredible source of support and friendship in my life, and you met him, Bridger Bell, at my birthday.
At your birthday, the tall one.
Yes, exactly. Okay. He says everything will always work out for the best. You just have to allow the universe to surprise and delight you. And that's part of a longer life principle or perspective that he has. But what I want our audience to take from that is the most important choice I think that we can make every single day is the way that we choose to frame things. One of the most powerful choices we have is our perspective. Life is just life. Stuff happens. But the way you choose to think about it, frame it, look at it, that is so important. And I think has such a huge correlation with your happiness and peace and joy. So just to build on what you said, I think it's the most important choice maybe that we make every single day.
Not maybe. It is.
Yeah. Okay. We're in agreement.
Word, not maybe. Choice. People ask me, of course, that don't want to buy the book, 8 Ways to Happiness. What is the one way that, blah, blah, blah. And I say it is choice. It truly is the most powerful tool you have in life. It's the word, choice. And every single thing. I thought you were going to go with the wallet with I don't have any money, which is, every year when I just finished preparing my taxes, something that I don't like doing every year, but I do it anyways. And one of the things that my accountant is always laughing. He goes, how do you do it? How do you live when, the divorce was a $2.8 million hit, recovering from that, recovering from this. And every year, this year was continuing to recover from the 7 months of work that I had overseas and all the hits I took with the travel. I didn't take travel insurance. I never had to before, but I lost quite a bit with things that couldn't be returned because I, went with the least expensive option and tough bananas, right? And then all the things that I cannot do speak in person. So all of that is gone. And so this year again, he's going to look at the numbers and go, how do you manage to live? And this is the universe is always conspiring for me and never against me. Now, you'll say, oh, that's so Pollyanna, Dr. Marissa. Look at all the starving people in the wars. And it's like, you can believe that. I just choose to believe this because it makes me feel better. Simple. I can find plenty of reasons to not believe that, and I can find plenty of reasons to believe that. That's why we start with the gratitude sandwich
I
every.
have a great, but before we leave the gratitude sandwich, I have a great quote from a musician that I just love because of the way that he lived his life. I'll tell you the quote, then I'll tell you the musician. He said, I am a reverse paranoid. I am quite confident that the world is conspiring to make me happy.
That's
He's a
beautiful.
reverse, and the artist is Jimmy Buffett.
John Lennon. Oh,
Jimmy Buffett. You know,
Okay.
the guy
I got the J right.
You did. And then one thing he said, he was asked in an interview once, how do you want to be remembered when you die? And he passed in September of 2023. And he said, well, in his Southern drawl, he said, well, I would like people to say I had a very good time and I made a lot of people real happy. And he definitely accomplished that, having gone to like 16 of his concerts. You want to talk about happiness in a 3-hour dose. Just the parking lot, the pregame, everybody partying and enjoying. Sure, people say it's just escapism. But you know what? It's just celebrating the best in life. And boy, all of his shows did that for everybody. And he did it for 50 years playing music. And I think he accomplished his life's mission. He lived out his epitaph while he was alive.
That's the legacy I also want to live. So I'm going to now live according to the words of Jimmy Buffett.
I had a good time. He made a lot of people happy.
Yeah,
That's how we want to be remembered.
And this is, you learn something new on this show that is positive. That's the promise I make to you every single morning. And thank you for doing that for us this morning. All right, that was a long breakfast, but yummy. So with that, I'm going to say, please continue to join us for breakfast. Join me for breakfast every weekday morning. Tonight, do the what you like about yourself before you go to bed. And I promise that you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day.
We are talking about all things Valentine's Day, what it means. Is it an overblown holiday like New Year's, or, you think you got to do something big for it? What's it all about? How do we manage it? What do we do with it? What do us single folks do? So all things Valentine's Day today is the topic.
Did you read what I wrote? I thought about it after you did that. And I don't remember what I wrote, so I'm going to read it. I thought it was pretty good. I said Valentine's Day. Yes, it might be a commercial holiday where men have to pay. And it also might be known as Sad Day, Single Awareness Day, making it poignantly clear that you are not in a romantic relationship. Or, since hope and happiness is my name and positivity is my game, James suggested that we talk about it in terms of a chance to start a new chapter in what I have coined my book of romance.
I love that. Very well written.
Thank you. And I have pink on because I've been wearing a lot of red, first Christmas and then Chinese New Year and Valentine's. So I'm distinguishing Chinese New Year from Valentine's this year because it's pretty close. They're only 3 days apart. So it's not always that way because of the lunar calendar. So today is Valentine's Day celebration. So, all right. Yeah. And I said that because New Year, Chinese New Year. So it just happens to coincide with your concept of starting a different chapter in your book of romance. So why did you pick this topic?
Just because it's right there on the calendar, staring at me like headlights coming down the highway at 80 miles an hour, and I'm standing there watching the car, frozen like a deer, about to get hit by the. So hey, I don't know how positive that is, but no,
Yeah, that's
I
not
think about
positive.
it, and one thing that I'm really grateful for actually is a guy on my softball team sent out to the group chat for our team that I had no idea he was a creative, and he's a director of a play, and he's like, we have Valentine's Day tickets available, so now I might have something to do, and if I have a date that I can take to the play, that would be wonderful. I'm going to spend some time today figuring who I might want to invite, but even if I don't have a date, a romantic date to take, I'm going to find another single friend and go celebrate art and support someone that is a great team member. And so, sometimes Valentine's Day, the love doesn't have to be the traditional romantic kind. There were a couple years over my life where I screwed up and I didn't call my mom on Valentine's Day. And as an only child, that really upset her. And I've learned that Valentine's Day is about all love. And I always have to send a really nice note and card and talk to my mom on Valentine's Day. And I get where she's coming from. At first, I'm like, Mom, I don't get it. It's a mother-son thing. That's not what Valentine's Day is about. And she's like, no, you're wrong. And she really lit into me. And you know what? She's right. Valentine's Day is about all kinds of love. So, I think it can be a day of appreciation. Who are the people that make your life good, that make you feel warm and fuzzy, whether they're friends, family. It doesn't just have to be about romance.
Yes, I'm gonna get points by putting this on the story just for her. What is her Instagram?
Oh God, she has a few. If you look up Barbara Hawthorn Interiors, that's her main one. She does it through her business.
HAWTH.
ORN, no E, because we're from the East Coast. We don't have time for extra vowels over here.
Interiors. Okay, here we go. So that's the story, and so she'll have it like not just when you do it, but I'm gonna call her mom.
That's cute. Yes, I think she'll love that.
Yeah, it was so nice getting to spend some time with her.
Oh, she was just a light. She reminds me of what is possible with how much joy and energy you can move through your day with, because she seems to be a limitless source. And she's a great example of how I want to and hope to be.
Yeah, and let's just make this our hashtag happy 88 practice for Valentine's, instead of thinking about how I'm not gonna get flowers again this year. You don't bring me flowers. I'm gonna think about giving compliments to people on Valentine's Day. It is a mahjong tournament. I'm not gonna make it like that good that they're gonna win. I still want to win, because it's not whether you win or lose, it's whether I win or lose. But I think I can still be in the spirit of Valentine's because the tournament is on the day. That was one way of not bemoaning the fact that I don't have a Valentine again. But I think that's a good practice, right?
I think so. I mean, it's a cliche where they say never miss a chance to tell someone that you love them, because you don't know when they'll be gone or what might happen. But I just think that Valentine's Day can be a day for that, to anybody that just, gives you the warm and fuzzies and that you're grateful for being in your life. It's just, I think it's a nice opportunity to express gratitude for the people that you love and care about.
Absolutely. So, let's look at, I'm going to, we have we have 15 seconds in the first half of the show where I keep it real, which is the moose on the table, talking about like the elephant in the room, Canadian style. What I don't like about Valentine's, the negative things, it's not as bad as the expectations that I have sometimes of my birthday, maybe, But Valentines have never been great for me because even when I was married, my husband was, perfunctory in his cards, but very not romantic at all. And the only time he was romantic was before the deed. And I remember that very specifically. So, and then my other horrible memory of Valentine's, I was in a relationship and he lived in San Francisco. And I met him kind of like those bump into people. It was like a romantic and everything was great. And then when he said he couldn't come down for Valentine's, I said, that's okay. A nice bouquet of flowers will have to keep me warm until you do. And his response was, I don't give flowers on Valentine's. He doesn't give flowers, period. But he doesn't. Yeah, just in case you thought he gave flowers other time. But it's a commercial holiday, and I will not do it. It doesn't matter what the relationship is. I just don't do that. And that was obviously the end of that relationship. But with those kinds of memories, the best memory I have of Valentine's is when my niece sent flowers to me for Valentine's. So I got it out. It's gone.
There you go. There you go.
Leaving it behind, all the bad memories of starting a new chapter. And Valentine's is now a chance for me to express my love and appreciation for others.
I'm going to put my moose on the table for Valentine's, but first I'm going to build on what you said. My uncle was that way. He would never give anybody any gifts on Christmas because he said the same thing. It's a commercial holiday, whatever. He says, I'll give you a gift when I gosh darn feel like it. And one time, what's that?
Did he?
Yes. This was the beautiful thing about it. He sent me this plaque about perseverance. And it was a great saying about how talent really doesn't matter, education doesn't matter, but perseverance alone helps you push through. And he sent it to me with a note saying, I'm thinking about you out there in LA, trying to make it as an actor. And I found this, I thought about it. This inscription is something that's helped me in my life. So he paid to have it engraved on a plaque and shipped it to me sometime in April. And so to his credit, sure, he doesn't want to deal with the ritual of Christmas or whatever, but he sent me something very near and dear to my heart that I still have. I've had it for 12 years. So I give him credit for actually backing it up. He said, I'm not doing it on this day, but I'll send you something meaningful when it's the right time. So I got to give him credit for that. The second thing, my moose on the table, is I'm going to share a little bit of my heart with everybody right now. I am in a very weird place. I have been crying every single day, and since I got back from Portugal, and almost every day, and not tears of sadness. I'm just quick to cry when I feel love or gratitude or anything. I did body work on a client of mine, which sometimes I do if they have like muscle tension issues. And I definitely feel what they're feeling in my body. So if they're feeling good while I'm doing the work, I feel that. I get like an incredible feeling of like bliss because it's almost like I'm channeling what they're feeling. If they have deep pain, sometimes after the session, I'll feel it in my body exactly where, they're having issues. And I did body work on somebody that has a lot of emotional trauma and pain. And later that day, I just was a sobbing mess. And I think that was part of it. But something changed in me in this 2-week trip on Portugal. And my heart just feels like wide open. I feel beautifully vulnerable. It's not a scary place. It was a little alarming at first. But after a bunch of days of crying every day, you kind of get used to it. And you know what? I think I might kind of like it. I might like this more open version of myself that came back from this 2-week trip. So that's my, vulnerable piece of moose on the table for everybody today. My heart is way more open and I feel way more accessible to it than I have in a really, really long time.
Wow. So many what caught moments here. What are the chances that First of all, tears are the disinfectant that keep your heart soft. And I'm so proud of you that you let yourself cry, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I wouldn't say you're a hot mess. You're a hot, beautiful package of pure vulnerability, which is very attractive. Okay. That's number one. Number two, I just did Throwback Thursday with Dr. John Gray. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And I love, listening to my old shows because I learned something new that I didn't remember. And he said, the whole unlocking to me is to allow myself to be vulnerable. So what are the chances that you come on and talk about being vulnerable with your heart wide open, which I see as a validation of what I need to do to change in order to be open to a love relationship. Number three, when you said that self-awareness way back in the beginning of the show was not one of your, I was like, are you kidding me? You are one of the most self-aware people I know. That's a compliment. Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm like, what is he talking about? And number four, I love you are so sensitive, which is a good thing. And I know when I was a kid, and you're getting so many hearts and hugs, rewarding you for your vulnerability. By the way, I think it's beautiful that you take on and feel that, empath is a word that people sometimes use. And then they talk about energy vampires, like somebody's doing bad things to you. That's bullshit talky. It's beautiful that you can, joy multiplied and pain halved, right? So in what you're doing in that work. And so I'm thinking, you've offered to come down so many times to do work on me. It's time. I surrender. I know I
Good.
need to be, yeah, right. That was my moment of aha, especially since the CAT scan showed that my rotator cuff is only hanging on by literally this much tendon, and I don't want surgery. So I'm going to see what you can do with
it's called
with
prehab. It's called prehab.
Prehab.
Doing work before. So even if you did have to go in for surgery, the prehab helps you recover faster and move through the recovery process with more grace and gets you back to where you are sooner. Best case scenario, the prehab keeps you out of surgery. But there's a lot to be said for that. Studies show that with car accident victims, people that are working out regularly and are building their strength, get less injured and recover faster, than those that don't. And I've worked with numerous car accident victims, and boy, do I see the difference between people that haven't been taking care of their bodies and people that have. Their recovery so much faster. It just allows you to weather the rough seas that sometimes life throws your way.
Yeah. And if you've just tuned in, you're wondering what's going on in studio, believe it or not, this is a show about Valentine's today, not in the traditional way of what to get someone or how to trap someone in the last minute so you have a date for Valentine's. Instead, we're talking about showing love outwards instead of expecting it inwards. And James picked a great topic today. We have gone 9 minutes over of taking a break for news, weather, and traffic. So we're going to do that right now. And a word from our sponsors. So don't go away. We'll be right back in 2 and 2. Chuck Woolery, thank you. But we're doing peace in and peace out. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Talking about Valentine's Day today, and in the words of Dr. Marissa, how can you love anyone else if you don't love yourself? So what I encourage you to do is DM me on Instagram at Action Man Fitness and let me meet you where you're at and form that loving relationship with your body, your health and wellness, and everybody else in your life is going to reap the benefits and rewards of that. So let's get started. DM me on Action Man Fitness and let me help you on your health and wellness journey.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And I'm back again.
And we're back.
There she is.
There I am. Boy, talk about like sliding into first base. Well, you're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, NBC News Radio, number one talk in the IE. Thank you. Number one FM station. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, my YouTube TV channel, which now is at 4.7 million impressions. It's unbelievable. I am grateful to Gladys Knight for continuing to put those numbers up. I did start with a 4.3. So, but she's like, I have 1.3 million views on her flashing piece at me while on stage, by the way, on Instagram. So cool. Now. It's crazy. But yeah, this is a show about hope and happiness. So no headlines. That will give you the case of the 4 A's: angry, aggravated, afraid, and anxious. Instead, I want you amazing. So I have topics and guests and co-hosts to help me with that, especially on my special series, Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and
James Hawthorn.
He is a fitness expert, actor, motivator, and so glad to have him in studio today, giving him some extra love since it is Valentine. It is a love fest here today as we celebrate and extending our solution now, second half of the show. How do you feel better about Valentine's Day when you have bad memories like I shared beforehand? And James got vulnerable. That was not bad memories. That is a present condition of vulnerable. Bleh. He's got the V. Not that V. He's got the vulnerability, a case of the vulnerabilities, which, by the way, is a good thing. And I probably more than anyone I know that is a professional woman, we forgot that. I think if I put that moose on the table, we're strong, we're independent, we don't need a man, we don't need a partner, we got it down, all of that, and that will keep us alone on Valentine's Day. Yeah. No vulnerability. I have all this
love that I want to give, but I'm not going to compromise for the wrong partner. It has to be the right partner. but I look forward to that day when it will come. I'm going to manifest that. I'm going to put it out there. I know what I want and expect, but I really look forward to the day when I get to share that with a romantic partner. And if I may, I'm going to give myself, speaking of vulnerability, a little bit of advice that maybe other people might resonate with, and it's being a loving person. I think it's a wonderful thing, but when love is actions, and there's energy behind that. And when you give love, be mindful of those who you're giving it to. Not everybody can give it back in the way that you might want, hope for, or expect. So stay aware of the signs of the things that your friends, your family, people that you hope to have a romantic interest with are giving you. Sometimes you can be a loving person, but you can love a particular individual from a distance and recognize what you're getting back. You don't want to pour your love into a black hole. And I'm giving myself advice regarding a friend. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to put an individual on blast, but I think it's important to stay aware of what you're receiving back and what you're feeling is happening when you put that energy behind those actions of giving love, because everybody's love. Oh God, I'm going to start crying. I told you I've been.
No, it's
like
good. It is good. It is good. I love tears of the disinfectant that keep our hearts soft. So thank you for showing us your heart, darling.
That's my advice to myself that I hope people out there might find helpful when they think about, where their love is being directed. You can be a loving person without putting it necessarily in the wrong place, or a place it's not going to give back to you. There's only so much energy we have, even if we're loving individuals, even if we move through life with a posture of love. So direct that energy towards places where it's going to nourish and enrich you, is my advice to myself and to others.
This is the model I taught my kids. They still use it. They teach their friends. You do this, and then if they do this, you don't do this to make up the space. You just stay there and you use it as information. And, one time you can do it because nobody's perfect. 2 times you can do it if you're nice. 3 times you got to look at what in me keeps going to the tractor for milk. And that's
that's right.
How I interpret that. Another what caught moment, James. Wednesday, Doctors in the House series. Guess what the topic was? Loving toxic people. So similar theme here going on. We can love from afar. The newest one for me is I love everybody. I really do. I love my soul, and my spirit loves everybody, but that doesn't mean I have to like everybody. And 88% of the people that I love me back. 12% cannot love me just because they can't. And my job is not to try to make those 12% love me, but to focus on the 88% that do. So that's been it's my life work, because I grew up believing and learning that approval was love, and the particular person I grew up with was not capable of approving because they were not happy with themselves. So my work is, like you're saying, is when you're not getting the love you want back, instead of continuing to stay up till 3 a.m. writing them letters to try to get them to understand why it's so important that you think this way because I love you and da 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 da, which I've done, obviously.
Me too. It's on the table.
If I could just put that, if I could just get them to understand, and it's futile. So let them go. Let yourself go. Because honestly, they're better off with someone who likes them exactly the way they are.
A friend gave me relationship. You're right, and a friend gave me relationship advice to that extent, and it kind of goes along with your getting milk from a tractor example. He's like, James, imagine you're playing tennis, and you keep hitting balls over the net, but you're failing to recognize that the other person over there doesn't even have a racket. Like, stop hitting the balls. Get off the court. Go play another game. Go find another partner. You know, and then my metaphor is, don't try to ask a fish to climb a tree.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. It can't happen. And the other I really love the don't pick up the rope and don't poke the animal, because at some point the buck stops right over here. You can spend all the time blaming someone, shaming them, shaming yourself, wanting something that's just never been and never will be. And at some point you got to look at why you're doing it. And usually it's because there's a part of you that just needs to be healed, but it ain't going to be healed with them. It's got to be healed with you.
It comes back to self-love, which you talk about all the time. If you don't love yourself, how the fork do you expect someone else to love you back? And I think that, if you notice that that's a pattern in your life, and for me, it has been over time. And, sometimes I think I'm over it. I think I've evolved beyond it and I'm through it. But then someone else will come into my life, and then I feel that inclination to keep hitting the balls over the net with someone that don't got a racket. And, you have to stay aware. And also, it's foolhardy. It can make you feel better in the moment to try to blame the other person and say, but you have to give people grace. They're doing the best with whatever toolbox they got. And it's your responsibility is to protect your heart, be that loving person, but protect your heart, see it for what it is, give them grace, say they're doing the best with what they got, but it's not a right fit for me. So I'm going to step back. I'm going to get off this tennis court. I'm not going to ask that fish to climb that tree, and I ain't going to try to find milk from a tractor.
That's right. Tractors don't give milk. Now, I'm going to put a moose on the table that it's a little bit of a semantic, but I do hear people, it's not just you, but the focus on the right person, the right partner, the right. And it, again, it sort of makes this process of trying to get milk from a tractor even more difficult than it has to be. So I try not even to use right or wrong or right or one. It is or the partner. It's a partner. It's one of many potential, not right, but it's useful. It's useful. It's enhancing.
It feels productive. What's happening between you and the other person feels fulfilling and enriching and productive.
Correct.
And it's so important to be aware of that.
And you can have that with numerous people. I'm not advocating polyamorism. I am advocating not focusing and making it so difficult that you're looking for a needle in a haystack or that one to complete you. It's the worst possible thing you can do when you're talking about love and loving a partner. I mean, it's just so aside funny. So polyamorism, when that came out 7-8 years ago on the show, I invited someone who was living a little bit on the edge. And at that time, it wasn't popular of a term, but I wanted somebody to explain this stuff to me. So I had him on the show a long time ago. And he goes, yes, I've been polyamorous for blah, blah, blah. And I went, people tell me all the time that I am. In fact, it's my middle word. My middle name is polyamorism. And the board operator looked at me and went, I thought he said Pollyanna. That's what I thought polyamorism was Pollyanna. Funny, I'm on the red carpet Grammy after party last week, was it? He is behind the camera on the lineup. I was walking the carpet, not covering it, and I walked by and he goes, I don't know if you remember me. I was on your show and my name is, I don't want to call him out. And I go, oh, I didn't remember. I went and looked it up. He's the one that said the
Now, hey, I'm gonna tell you what. As we get towards the end of our show, I'm not gonna open a whole can of worms, but that could be a fun topic.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Polyamory is a good one
because more people are doing it.
I know people that are doing it too. I mean, I'll save it for the next show, but it's a really interesting topic, and I think you can give a lot of love with or without. So without judging and opening that can of worms, being polyamorous, you can give a lot of love in a monogamous relationship. You can give a lot of love to polyamory. But I think if it feels good, and not just in a surface level pleasure way, but this is almost my final word, I guess. If it feels good in a fulfilling way, in a warm way, in a way that makes you smile, even when you're stuck in traffic on the 405, it is good. So let's not make, this love stuff too complicated. If you're directing your actions of love and that energy towards another person, and you're feeling good with, them and what you're getting back, it is good. If it feels good, it's good. And sometimes that's enough. Like you said, it doesn't have to be the right person. There's something worth investing in and exploring and leaning into, because we need it. It's such a basic need. And if it's getting met with an individual, then that's a good individual to have around. If it feels good, it is good. It's kind of my final word on love and Valentine's Day today.
Great. And my final word is advice I give my kids. Are you having fun most of the time? 80% of the time, are you having fun? Don't kill it with some overthinking. Just have fun. Doesn't take right and wrong out of the equation. Is it useful or not? And useful means, am I happy 88% of the time? Yeah. This is Dr. Marissa. It's all about balance. Great show. Thank you, James Hawthorn on Straight Talk. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. James, take us out.
Now go and have the best weekend and best week ever.
I'll see you guys Monday.
Take